where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Merris.
Hello.
It's Merris Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a weird thing I've never heard before that I'm presenting to you guys.
Uh-huh.
And this is a shorter episode, and I apologize for that. Excuse me. But as you can tell, I have COVID, and I'm actively dying, so blame the germs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just regained my voice enough to be able to talk, and it's not going well.
I said that maybe you shouldn't record. You're going to cough. But
Yeah, you did, but I said to shut up.
Yeah.
So I love strange cases like this where everything is absurd and none of it seems true or makes sense. And it only makes me believe it more. Because here on Merris Mondays, we believe shit.
Everything.
We believe everything. Except the chupacabra.
Oh.
That shit is so fake. Okay. You can listen to our episode on it, but basically it was all invented by one very unhinged woman. Yeah. This one is very interesting, and we will rate this guy on the fuckability scale, too.
Hell yeah.
Just to be fair. This is the Goblin voice of Zaragosa.
Ooh.
Right? It's
that was
literally
real lightning, too.
There's like thunder and stuff because it's raining finally at last.
Yeah.
And so it's adding to the ambiance.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So our story begins in Spain on September 27th, 1934. The strange occurrences were in a building that had been converted into apartments, and the activity went on for a couple of months. Despite the building being occupied by several families, most of the activity was centered around the Palazón,
I don't know.
Palazón family, who lived on the second floor of the apartment building. On the morning of the 27th, residents in the building reported hearing insanely loud laughter. It was described as cackling.
Scary laughing.
Ha ha ha. Yeah, I can't.
We're not going to do that because
I'll
you're
just cough
sick.
and die. It was hooting and loud and evil sound, just like unhinged laughter. And that's how you know it's got to be a demon or a goblin or whatever.
Right.
What the fuck kind of evil-ass entity gets up in the early morning and just laughs? I can barely...
Someone in a good mood, you know?
I can barely see when I wake up.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like freeze-dried and need time to be reconstituted.
Or you were up all night. You know.
Oh, no, just kill me then. I'm too old for that shit. I don't know who has the damn energy for mirth at an early hour. Anyway, the crazy-ass laughing got so loud that the residents left their apartments and were wandering the halls looking for the source of the chortling so they could likely tell whomstever it was to shut the fuck on up.
Right.
However, once people started coming out of their apartments, the laughter stopped. Jerk. Oh. Residents were a little disturbed, but ultimately brushed it off and went about their business. It was just some loud-ass laughing after all. Laughing, indeed. Later that same day, the Palazón family hired a maid to help with the upkeep of their home, and her name was Pascuala Alcocer.
We did our best.
I did my best.
Yeah.
I spelled it phonetically, and I think I still fucked it up. But Pascuala set about her duties in the Palazón home, and she was over by the stove preparing to light it when she heard a man's deep, booming laughter. She tried to ignore it, which props to her, I had to piss my pants, and carry on with her duties, but when she went to light the stove, a man's voice cried out, "Stop it! You're hurting me!"
Well,
Naturally,
I mean, that's pretty funny, though. Pretend to be the stove, you know?
Yeah, it was funny. Naturally, this scared the absolute piss out of Pascuala. She gathered the Palazón family and had them listen to the voice coming from the stove. When the family stood there, likely thinking their maid was absolutely batshit, they too heard a man's voice shouting, "Light! Light! I cannot see!"
It's pretty good.
Listen, you wise-ass voice. The maid tried to light the stove and you said that it hurt. Now you're bitching it's dark? Sir, you aren't even paying the bills. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Shut up. This is, okay, I just want to pause and say this is why I don't like ghosts.
Because they ain't paying rent?
Partly, but also they're just fucking obnoxious. Like, I'm going to knock this over. I've got cats to do that for me.
Well, I got one that's really good at it.
Oh, Stinky?
Yeah.
There's Amelia Bedelia of cats.
Yes, she is.
Just wrecking shit all the time.
Yep.
But that's what I, like, I have a hard time finding ghosts scary because all they do is like, ooh, I moved a
Or they
curtain.
making footstep sounds.
Clomp, clomp, clomp. Or they're hooting. Hollering.
They're opening a door, they're closing a door, they're opening a door, and they're
I
closing
pushed
a door.
your new coffee pot off the counter and it's broken.
Yeah, Ghost did that to me.
Yeah, that's why I told that story. And you know what? Fuck you, Ghost.
It was one of those French press glass coffee maker things.
That sounds fancy as shit.
It's not electric, so you just shove it off the counter, and it was broken into a million billion pieces.
How pissed were you?
I was really sad.
Yeah.
It was a Christmas present.
Why are you making this story sadder?
Because that's the truth. That's what happened.
Man, what a cunt.
Yeah.
Stupid ghost. Anyway, Pasquela also told the family that she heard the voice of a little girl whimpering or something like that coming from the flue of the stove. And these were wood-burning stoves back then.
Well, that one's haunted.
Yeah. Naturally, given the loud-ass laughter that happened in the morning, coupled with the maid's weird experience, word in the building began to spread, and soon people started visiting the building to see if they could hear the weird laughter or the man crying out for themselves. People flocked to the apartment building, and soon there were literally thousands of people waiting to get inside the building and hear the spectral laughter.
That's going to scare the ghost away.
It didn't.
Oh.
But I find this so funny. It's like because things went viral back then, too.
Yeah, for real.
Though it was usually confined to small communities like this story. It's still super fascinating to me. People just love a trend.
Right.
So you can imagine that life for the tenants of this building was not fun. I would be so pissed off if some chucklefuck goblin made it to where getting in and out of my house was difficult.
Yes, I would be pissed.
Go away, you asshole.
Or, start paying rent or...
Contribute. You're just startling me. I'm not even scared. I'm merely startled.
Yes.
So annoying. The National Guard of Spain was called in to control the crowd and keep everyone in line. City officials and police showed up to tell the public they would get to the bottom of this stupid laughing. They assured the public that this was likely a hoax or a natural phenomenon and not to worry about random laughing goblins or anything like that. Now, to clarify, when we say goblin, the people of Spain had more nuanced understanding of the word. They meant like elf or fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a little green Shrek-looking motherfucker necessarily.
It could be, though. It could be.
Well, though, in my mind...
He is.
It's just fucking Shrek.
Yes.
Okay? Shrek is haunting this apartment complex hollering, get out of my swamp! Or like
get out of my
onions,
stove.
Like have layers or some shit.
Yeah.
City officials were so intent on putting a stop to the hysteria surrounding the apartment goblin that they brought in masons, police, plumbers, and a psychiatrist.
Fair.
Lord have mercy. They planned on combing through the whole building. Hell, they even brought in the architect who designed the fucking thing to help them show everyone that goblins are in fact gay as hell and not real.
Or rad as hell is what you meant.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking... I don't like this ghost.
Oh.
It reminds me of another ghost, and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So right away, police suspected that it was a hoax perpetrated by Pasquela. So they had the psychiatrist, an analyzer or whatever, and he believed that it was in fact all done by Pasquela. She was suffering from mass hysteria, and as I've stated before...
Her uterus was flying around.
Yeah. I find mass hysteria a largely stupid excuse and have never seen a case where I thought it was like legitimately and definitely mass hysteria, but okay. And he also diagnosed her with my favorite thing I've ever heard.
What is it?
Subconscious ventriloquism.
Oh. I want to have that.
Yeah, sure, that's a real thing.
Oh.
Except it's not. If you look up the term, you'll only find this case. So the psychiatrist made up a thing to fit, which sounds so legit.
I think it sounds awesome. That's a really cool diagnosis.
Next time I say something and it pisses people off, I'm going to go, well, not my fault. I have subconscious ventriloquism.
True.
You fucking ableist asshole.
Because she can, that implies because she's throwing her voice.
Yes, because it was a crazy man voice and it was heard all... I want to be clear, like, how this was heard. So most of it was heard in the Palazon family home, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was also heard in the hallways, in other rooms, in other apartments, by tons of people, including police.
Yeah.
And it was like a big man voice.
Yeah.
That's my big man voice, by the way.
It's very good.
You're convinced. You thought I was a dude for a second.
I did. I was like, there's another man on this podcast.
And then you were going to get jealous and beat him up.
That's true. We were going to fight and then do bro stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like what's bro stuff?
I don't know, chest bump or watch sports.
Watch a sport?
I watch one sport. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we, never mind.
Touch wieners. I don't know.
I was going to say sword fight.
Yeah.
But neither one of us have
Whatever.
wieners, so it's going to be really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Or not hard. So, to prove that Pasquela was the one making the weird-ass noises and laughter, police said, go run some errands. And she was like, see, okay. And so Pasquela's running her errands, and they sent police officers with her.
Uh-huh.
As she left the building, and she's, pushing through the throngs of idiots, gathered there to hear the Goblin. And while she was gone, the entire fucking time, everyone heard the laughter and the voice again.
Mm-hmm. While she was gone.
Yeah, so it wasn't fucking
She's a
Pasquela.
very good puppeteer, by the way.
She's really good at ventriloquism.
Yeah.
She can be 5 miles away and
Mhm.
still throw her voice all the way back.
Incredible.
To the apartment.
Incredible.
It's amazing. The voice smart-assedly answered any questions posed to it. At one point, the police and architect were in the kitchen where Pasquela heard the voice coming out of the stove, and they had asked the architect to measure the space between the wall and the stove, presumably so they could see if it was big enough to hide a grown-ass man,
Mm-hmm.
behind the wall.
I want to guess no.
But before the architect could even take out his tape measure, the voice spoke up and said, "Don't bother. It measures 75 centimeters."
Uh-huh.
And when they measured it, it measured 75 centimeters.
Well, this ghost is good. Or Pasquela's real good.
Whatever. So, yeah, after all those people and city officials and cops tore that building apart, they came to the conclusion that no one could be hiding in the walls or throwing their voice to such a degree that it would be as loud as the phantom voice. In addition, there was no way for someone to hide and be simultaneously aware of all that was going on that the voice was talking about. For example, it'd be like, I like your shirt. Well, if he was hiding behind a wall, he wouldn't be able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But he would be able to describe things as though he were in the room.
Right.
And this didn't matter where the voice was coming from. Like that. That was a goblin. That wasn't me.
That was
coughing.
Pasquela, yeah.
This was Pasquela. She was she's getting revenge because I'm sure she's dead now.
Oh, dang.
1934.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. She's
R.I.P.
a real one.
Yeah.
Anyway, eventually, this all became a lot. People were shouting at the residents, especially the Palazon family, to ask the Goblin questions, and the Goblin got tired of being asked questions, so he became a real shithead and started cursing and saying he was going to kill the Palazon family.
Oh, damn.
It was hard to live in that building during this time because of all of the hype.
The Goblin, yeah.
Pasquela had to move entirely out of the city because everyone blamed her for hoaxing it, as the psychiatrist contended, and she had moved out of town.
Did she still throw her voice when she was out of town?
Yes.
Dang.
She only ever did one interview in old age about the incident and swears up and down she didn't do anything, and the phenomenon actually scared her really badly.
Right.
Which
sounds scary because if she's
scary.
not doing it.
Right. It was hard on the Palazon's youngest son, too. He was having difficulty sleeping with all the noises from the crowd outside, and he told his father that he was tired, and this is about 2 months into the phenomenon, and he told his dad, he's like, this whole thing is crazy.
Yeah, that's true, son.
And then out of nowhere, the voice spoke up and said, no, not crazy, little one. And then it never spoke the fuck again.
Aww.
I know, it was kind of sad, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Leave it on that note?
That's why we left, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that building has since been torn down and a new one constructed in its place called the Edificio Duende, or the Goblin Building.
Oh.
Indeed. They never figured out what was causing the laughter or who was behind the voices. The mayor still put out an official notice blaming Pasquela, though.
Leave her alone. She's got that puppet disease.
Right? She's just throwing her voice around all the time.
Yeah.
Leave her alone. She's tired. Damn. So, yeah. Goblin, quit coughing. We're on the air.
Yeah. Definitely not you.
I don't think Pasquela did shit.
No,
For
she
the
was
record.
innocent.
Yeah. So this reminds me of a case I covered before on Patreon called the Dalby Spook, also known as Jeff the Talking Mongoose.
Oh.
Jeff hid in the walls, and they never actually saw him, or they saw him rarely. And he would answer questions, and he knew a lot of weird shit. He could, and people accused, the youngest daughter, I believe, of, throwing her voice in kind of a similar fashion.
Yeah.
And one day, Jeff just disappeared.
Yeah.
Just like the Goblin.
Yeah.
Why did they call him a Goblin? I don't know. Nobody ever saw him. To me, it sounds like
they
a
use
ghost.
the word duende. Isn't that a word for goblin?
Duende is a word for little person, like fairy or gnome.
Yeah.
Or goblin.
So
it just means
thing.
fairy
Yeah.
in general. And so people believed it was like a fairy in the building, like a trickster. And I don't fucking know.
Don't know. There's just a spirit that likes to be in walls and fuck around with you.
Yeah, and this is a short one, but I wanted to share it with you guys because these are my favorite paranormal cases. I don't think anything tops Jeff the Talking Mongoose for me. And if you want to listen to that episode, I don't know if I ever released it because sometimes I release Patreon episodes after they've been out for like a year or so.
Yeah.
But join our Patreon and you can listen to it, and it is just as insane as it sounds. It really is. And I love that story, actually. I fucking love Jeff. I wish he would come live in my house and yell weird shit at me through my walls.
For real. I would live with that.
The Goblin is also welcome.
Yes.
And I will not call him crazy.
No.
I will call him friend. Okay? And maybe I'll be nice and say, what is your name? Because it's not Goblin. That's stupid.
Right.
And then he's like, my name is Timothy.
All right then, Timmy.
Indeed. So, it's not crazy. Business time. No, I don't have a lot of strength left in me.
No,
I'm not feeling good at all. I've been sick as a fucking dog. This sucks. I hate this. I wish to be murdered, put out of my misery.
Oh.
Taken to a farm upstate. Put me out behind the woodshed. You know the part in Of Mice and Men when he's like, Lenny, tell me about the rabbits, and he shoots him in the back of the head? I want that.
Yeah.
But in lieu of that, what would make me feel better is if you joined our Patreon. We have over 600 hours of content on Patreon. I have just finished my notes for Ruby Ridge, which I will be covering as my next Patreon case. And that's really cool. Yeah. This month's theme, by the way, is active serial killers. Enjoy that. I guess. I mean, I don't know how to enjoy it.
I can't. No, I can't do it.
No, you're not doing it. That'll be me and Willow. Yeah. And hopefully I'll be recovered enough to record, because this was rough actually doing this. I'm very tired. If you want to support the podcast in other ways, you can send us money on coffee.
Help, yeah. Send money on the coffee.
Yeah, because I haven't been able to work or anything.
She's tired and sick.
I'm very sick, yes. What else do I got for you? Oh, join our Discord.
Yeah.
And then you can hear me bitch about stuff.
Yeah, like being sick.
Show me pictures of your dogs and what you made for dinner and your Halloween decorations and your costumes and what you're going to do for Christmas. I want all of it. What else do I want? Oh, I want Merris to talk about his podcast. Go.
Oh, it's Welcome to Reality with your host, me, Merris, and my wife, Lillian, over there.
I'm over here.
Yeah, and on this podcast, we just basically talk about things that I watch, generally reality television, sometimes movies or whatever.
And you can make suggestions.
Yes, you can, but I also have the right to ignore it and continue to watch The Sister Wife to see who's the final wife.
Yeah, because it was the Highlander of wives, and Robin won.
Yeah, Robin did win. Yeah.
All right, well, if all you can do to support this podcast is listen, hey, thank you. I appreciate you. That's very nice. And if you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment. You can you can subscribe. You can hit that stupid bell. Just do all the things that other YouTubers tell you to do. I don't know what the hell's going on. I do read comments. I don't reply to all of them because I think about it and I mean to, and then I don't.
Yeah.
But thanks. I appreciate them and do read them.
Thank.
And there are sometimes mean ones. And
what do they say? How dare they?
One time somebody was just like, I can't even remember what episode it was on.
Better
were
not be
like,
about me. I'll be meaner back.
No, Mo, they were like, you're making excuses for fat people.
Oh, eat shit.
But anyway, goodbye.
Bye.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Libby.